Welcome to A Course in Miracles. Let's take a deep breath right now and relax in the energy that we are sharing with each other right now. Welcome online. Welcome to Facebook Live. This is Earl Purdy. We're doing A Course in Miracles. And we're going to be talking about the justice of heaven, the justice of love, the justice of God, the justice of peace. And I want you to remember one thing, that you don't have to believe the ideas, you don't have to accept the ideas, you don't have to even welcome the ideas. I'll say it one more time. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. And some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe, hard to believe, hard to believe, hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. Other ideas from A Course in Miracles may seem to be quite startling. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You're not asked to analyze the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. So inwardly say, show me that the ideas are true. Show me that the ideas are true. Those of you on Facebook Live, welcome. The reason why we're doing it live is so that we can interact with each other in here, interact with each other online. We got a lot of brothers and sisters from all over the world that are tuning in. So, would y'all say, yo? Yo! That's right. That's for all you folk online right now, to let you know that we feel our connection. We feel our connection with each other. If there's anybody on either side of you that you haven't said hello to, that you don't know, would you take just a second to do that? Get out of the stranger zone. You know. Yes. Yes. And so don't forget to share the video. Those of you online, don't forget that I'm going to be aware of you all, the whole entire class. Okay, Holy Spirits, that's great. I can feel like all of you now leaving each other in each other's wheel. There was an instant bonding that happened immediately, Patricia. Okay,
I draw the line.
We're going to talk about the justice of heaven in A Course in Miracles on page 538 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles says a minister of God is a messenger of God, and then it says God is love. So a minister is a messenger of love. So I see my role after 30 years of doing this full time and almost 40 years of studying the Course, I see my role as the role of a messenger. And so when the mailman delivers a letter to you, the mailman doesn't stick around to make sure you understand necessarily what the letter you just received was about. You call that an invasion of privacy. But what you are looking for is him to deliver the message. In the Course in Miracles, in the section called I'm Among the Ministers of God, talks about what makes a messenger of truth different from a regular messenger. And he says a messenger of truth is someone who shares the message, doesn't determine who it is that's necessarily supposed to receive the message. And the first thing that a messenger of truth would do would be to accept the message for themselves. So first and foremost, I'm teaching what I need to learn, so I'm just as much learning the message as you are learning the message. I am going to share a certain amount of the material, and then I'll throw it open for any questions or any comments or ahas. So let me get the point out first. Even if there's a part of you that feels like you just can't wait, I would invite you to wait. Okay, all right. Because usually the Course in Miracles says when it gets so powerful that you just gotta interrupt, he says actually what's really happening is that your ego is feeling threatened by something that I'm saying, and it's just trying to shut me up. And so to do it in the form of I just gotta ask this question right now, and so I'm not going to fall for that. So I'm not trying to be insulting if I still say I'm going to answer it later. So my goal is for us to actually hear what the message is that the Course in Miracles is trying to give us. Because sometimes we jump into, how can I apply this in situations in my life, but you actually have not heard what it said. So the first stage to accepting the truth, there are 4 stages. Stage number 1 is hearing it, and without believing that you have to believe it, just being willing to hear it. The second stage is to keep on repeating it, and then you start to seriously consider it, and then you start to consider it even more as you keep on repeating it to yourself. He says with some reservations, and then the last stage is you actually accept it as true. And when you accept it as true, that's when you perceive it operating in your experience. Because what you're already seeing in your experience is what you've already accepted as true. So your life as you're looking at it right now, according to this, is a reflection of the beliefs that you already have, that you have already accepted as true. That's why you can't use what you believe as the proof as to whether or not what the Course in Miracles is saying is right from your experience, because your experience is based on your beliefs as far as how you perceive it. And then the other thing that I always like to add is that the Course in Miracles is primarily, first and foremost, concerned with our perception. It's trying to give us the correct perception of everything. Because it says if you have a correct perception, then it's going to give you peace. If you have peace, then you'll be able to hear your inner guidance. Because first and foremost, we want to hear our own inner guidance, the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher. So I'm, in a sense, trying to put you in the hands of your own inner guidance. So what we want to do through the Course is get rid of the blocks that keep us from receiving the inner guidance. And so the first thing we need to do today, it says, I want to talk to you about what real justice is. I want to talk to you about what real fairness is. And the Course is only talking about love or fear. So even though it uses Christian terminology, it's talking about universal spiritual things. So don't let the form that is written in trip you up. It's only talking about love or fear, separation or oneness. So another way that you could look at the justice of heaven would be what? The justice of love. And it says justice is fairness. So true justice is fair. So another way you can look at that title is the fairness of love. The justice of heaven is the fairness of love. Love, real love, true love is, in other words, the love opposite to the kind we give.
I agree a lot with
we do specialness.
Yes,
I'll say that over and over again. According to the Course, which we don't have to believe, which I said at the very beginning, we do specialness, and we call that love.
Yes.
And the Course is saying, no, that's not love. What you all do is not love, because what you do is exclusive, and it singles people out, and it leaves people out, and everybody doesn't get it equally. So you all are not doing love. So that's why y'all go through. That's why y'all go through so much pain and suffering, broken into by periods in which you go to a movie.
The other people suffer.
Yes, and then you watch the other people suffer.
Okay. On the screen.
On the screen, which is what's happening anyway. Our mind is acting just like what we see in a movie theater. A movie theater is the best analogy you could use for spiritual truth.
Correct.
You're sitting in the chair, you're looking at the screen, the projector behind you is projecting the picture on the screen. And while you're immersed in the movie, you forget you're sitting in a chair, you forget that there's people around you, you forget that you're sitting in the movie, and you forget there's anything outside of the movie theater.
Yes,
You're totally focused in, right? Hello. The only difference is this is virtual reality, so this is 3D.
right.
But we're just as much dealing with a projection of consciousness that we think is ultimately real. And if you don't like something on the movie screen and you're not totally insane, and if you don't like something on the movie screen and you are totally insane, you would go up and start to try to change what you see on the movie by going up to the screen and hitting on the screen and cussing people out on the screen. And you know that what you would really do if you wanted to change the movie, you'd have to change what's on the projector. You'd have to change the film.
Yes.
Then you get a new movie. The Course in Miracles says there's just two movies you're watching. The movie of separation and the movie of oneness. The movie of innocence and the movie of guilt. The movie of freedom, and it's all just two movies. So we're used to getting mad at the screen and shouting at the screen, and the Course is saying, with the help of the projectionist who has the ability to change the movie, called the Holy Spirit, then you can have a new movie put up on your three-dimensional screen. But first you have to admit you're the one that asked for the movie you don't like. And then the next thing you have to do is you stop choosing the next movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what we do is just the opposite. We know, I don't like this movie, let me make up another one.
Yes.
But it's still the movie based on separation and fear. So the Course in Miracles says in the first paragraph, I love to work out of the book, because what I'd like to do is, a good teacher is a good motivator, and I'm hoping that you will want everything that you ever wanted to have in your heart enough to actually do the material, which will, it says, give you what you always ever wanted in your heart, which is complete happiness. Okay, so what can it be but arrogance? What can it be but arrogance to think your little errors cannot be undone by love's justice? I'll ask the question until we hear it. It's arrogant for you to think that the mistakes you've made can't be undone by God. It's arrogant for you to say your relationship is beyond love's ability to heal, truth's ability to heal. I mean, that's a messed up relationship that if the Creator go, oh no, I can't even deal with that. That's a big much right there. That's bad. That's bad. I can't deal with this situation right here. So the Course in Miracles says, you know what? That's arrogant for you to believe that what mistakes in your ego cannot be undone by the justice or the fairness of heaven, which the Course describes as reality. Another term, I like to use a lot of the substitutions that the Course itself uses for definitions for words. And one of the definitions for heaven is reality. Our reality is so awesome that the Course in Miracles says that's why we call it heaven. Because it's so doggone real. It's so good. It's so loving and so safe and so peaceful that we call it heaven. And this is a reminder, what we're hearing in the background, why we should be motivated to study. You know, the sirens are letting you know this ain't heaven.
There's no sirens in heaven.
You know, the sirens in heaven are hot. The sirens in heaven are hot. Okay.
She would know.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I got rowdy people in the house. Thank God. I like my brother James would say, good God. Ow! Okay. So what can it be but arrogance to think the stuff you think you're doing every day can't be undone by heaven's judgment? And what could this mean if you think your errors cannot be undone, except that you think your errors are sins? You think your errors are not mistakes. You think your errors are forever uncorrectable. He says you think your errors are to be met with vengeance and punishment and not with justice. So what did that just tell us? When it says that it's arrogant for you to think your mistakes cannot be undone, if you notice the Course in Miracles in the very next sentence says, and what could this mean? So it's about to give you the meaning, so there's no need to analyze the meaning. It's about to give you the meaning. It says, I'm going to tell you what this means. It means that you think you can do something that's such a big mistake that it could never be corrected and you need it to be punished for it. You think there's some things that you can do that are mistakes that you need to be punished for, is what the Course in Miracles is saying. And it's also saying it's arrogant for you to think whatever that mistake is couldn't be corrected by love, couldn't be corrected by God, couldn't be corrected by truth. So I want you to hear the message. The message is it's arrogant whenever you think you have some issue, a problem that can't be solved. You're being arrogant. Some of you are being arrogant about your financial situation right now. Some of you are being arrogant about relationship situations right now. Some of you, what do I mean by arrogant? You think there's something going on in that area of your life that you haven't been able to have solved or corrected or healed. So that's different to think of that as being arrogant, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, you know, I think, I don't know I'm going to pay my rent. I'm being arrogant. I'm being really arrogant right now. I think I can make some kind of problem. And believe me, if you're unhappy about something, it isn't that you can't pay your rent that's got you unhappy. It's your perception of not being able to pay your rent that has you unhappy. Okay, not the money that's making you unhappy. It's your perception of the situation that's making you unhappy. And the Course defines a perception as an interpretation. So when you see the word perception in the Course, if you substituted the word interpretation, it would probably sound more doable. If I say I have to change my perception of my mother, that can sound more daunting than saying I need to correct my interpretation of my mother. It might sound easy to say I need to change the meaning I'm giving to my mother. So that's what you're saying when you say you have a perception of something. You're saying this is my interpretation of it. So when you're looking at me, you're looking at what? Your interpretation. That's what you're looking at right now. However you're seeing me, it's the meaning you're giving me. It's what you're seeing right now. Some of you might see me and like me because that's the meaning you're giving me. Some of you might be suspect, and that's the meaning you're giving me. And some of you might not like me at all. But that don't have anything to do with me. Because I know, according to the Course, if y'all was really seeing me and I was really seeing you, we scarcely be able to refrain from being on our knees in front of each other, crying tears of joy because we think we're all so beautiful. So until we get to that point at the class, we got some studying to do. I ain't seen nobody on their knees in front of nobody since I've been sitting here. Okay, all right. It's a trip to think you could see some, and some of you have had experiences where your perception, your specialness was so intense that you looked at that person and tears rolled down your cheeks.
Yes.
You know, why did I say your specialness was so intense? Because you'd be ready to kill them if they looked at somebody else.
That's right.
So that's why I'm specialist.
That's how you know.
That's how I know. That's how. How do I know you love? How do I know you really love me? I know you really love me because you love somebody else too.
Yeah.
That's how I can tell when I'm talking to somebody who knows what love is. I'll never be the only one they're loving.
Yes.
Because love is inclusive and not exclusive. Specialness is exclusive and not inclusive. Okay? So the Course then says, are you willing to be released from all the effects of sin? And now the word sin is a word I learned that I don't like. So that means I have a perception of it that's not correct. That if I looked at it correctly, I would recognize that sin is just a term that speaks of lack of love. That sin, the Course says sin just means that there's a lack of love that you think can be corrected. What makes it a sin is you're thinking that you could make a mistake that God's justice could not correct and heal you. That's a lack of love. That's a lack of love. So it says right here, are you willing to be released from all effects of it? Yes, I am willing to be released from all effects of what? Mistakes that I think are forever uncorrectable, mistakes that I think I need to be punished for, mistakes that are not met with fairness. I am willing to be released from all effects of that. Is there anyone else in here that's willing to be released of all effects of that? Okay. What am I saying? Being released from mistakes that you think that God can't correct, that are forever uncorrectable, met with punishment, and met with injustice. So you're listening to what I'm saying, and so even if you don't know how that would happen, it's important for you to say, if you want to, that that's something that you like to be released from. Because you have free will, the universe is looking for you to go into agreement and say, you know what, I'd like to be released from the effects of thinking that I could make mistakes that I needed to be punished for as opposed to being lovingly corrected. Okay? You cannot answer this. Okay, so you already answered, but it says in the next line, you cannot answer this until you see what? All that the answer must entail. See, I'm doing unthinkable. I'm using the Course in Miracles to teach a Course in Miracles. That's rare in Course in Miracles circles. Most people just wing it. But I feel like if I could be supportive of getting a person to read and study the book, because I can't always be around or somebody else is a teacher, that's that difference in, feeding somebody one time a fish and teaching them how to fish, and then they feed themselves the rest of their life. So I'm hoping that by you seeing me working out of the book, that you will begin to let go of the idea that you couldn't be motivated to study the book and learn what's being taught from the book yourself. Especially if you find that I'm saying something that makes sense to you. It's already said something incredibly loving. It told us that, you know what, I don't care what you come up with. It's arrogant for you to think that spirit cannot correct that. And I want to ask you, do you want to be corrected? Okay, if you do, there's some things you need to recognize. Says it right here. First of all, if you said yes, some of y'all said yes, some of y'all didn't want to say it, but you said it anyway. Okay? The course says if you answered yes, I'm going to tell you what that means. It means that you will forego all the values of this world. How many want to renege? It means I'm going to let go of all the values of the world. And when the course says the world, whenever you hear a word from the course to me and it makes you feel contraction, it means you didn't hear it correctly. So let me explain. In the section, in the workbook, there's a section that's called What is the World? Okay? And one of the definitions that the course gave of the world was that the world is a false perception. Okay? So when it says then, you will forego all the values of this world, you're talking about you will forego all values of this false perception. You're willing to let go of valuing any kind of false perception. Does that sound more doable?
Yes.
See, if you really mean yes, and you really mean you want to be released from every mistake, every fear, every pain, everything that causes you any form of upset, if you really want to be released from that, you must say to yourself, I am willing to forego all the values of the world. I'm willing to let go of all the values of fear in favor of the peace of heaven, in favor of the peace of love, in favor of the peace of God. So in favor of the peace of love, in favor of the peace of God, in favor of the peace of heaven, I'm willing to forego all the values of the false perception. I'm willing to let go of all values around fear and separation and attack and guilt and anger. I'm willing to let go of valuing me being punished, me being broke, me being unhappy, and having bad breath sometimes. I'm going for it. That's a stretch. I thought I'd just go over it. So, are you willing to forego all values of false perception in favor of the peace of heaven, which is the peace of love? Would you be willing to let go of fear, anger, and guilt in order to have love, abundance, and joy and connection?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then that means you have to have a willingness to let go of your false ideas, false beliefs, false values. And you have to let go of the idea that you can come up with anything that God cannot correct. That's what this is all. I haven't gotten past one paragraph. Okay. I don't do the course fast because that just gives you more to forget. Okay. Because you will be amazed at how you can hear what I'm saying while I'm talking, and when I finish and close this book, you'll be a complete blank about 90% of what's been said. Because there's a part of the mind that doesn't want you to hear this. Yes. The part of the mind that thinks you deserve to be unhappy and suffer in some way does not want to hear that you deserve to have happiness and your errors to be corrected no matter what you've done. There's a part of us that bought into the idea of guilt and the idea of sin and separation. The Course is saying, even if you just got it as a kid, you have some unconscious beliefs in separation. And it says that's what's producing what you call the pain and suffering in your life right now. It's coming from unconscious guilt and grievances and misperceptions. So you may think you're the neatest, cutest, most innocent little kind thing in the world, and you are in your real self, but we got to get to your real self. But the you that has the Social Security number, it's off.
Off the mark.
Yeah, it's off the mark. The part that has the Social Security number, it believes it's a nice person walking around in a world that looks like there's people and things that are not so nice that has nothing to do with it. Yes. I have a face of innocence. I wouldn't attack you unless you attack me first. I wouldn't attack you except in self-defense. But other than that, I'm really nice. I got my affirmation, my Mason, my 45. All right, I'm ready. I'm a spiritual teacher.
You're a spiritual gangster.
I'm a spiritual gangster. I'm Al Corspone. I went for it. Al Course poem. You said Al Capone. Get it? Al Course poem. Okay. All right.
I'm so glad you explained
That's
that.
right. Don't lose your sense of humor because y'all trying to be spiritual.
Or maybe you should get one.
Says not one sin which you retain. What that mean? What does that mean? Not one thing that you think is forever uncorrectable and to be met with punishment that you would retain. There's not anything that I think that would hurt me or make me think I deserve punishment. I don't want to retain any of those ideas and any of those beliefs. And not once, it says, and not one doubt that this is possible will you hold dear, that the sin or the fear be kept in place. So I won't keep on doubting the truth so I can keep my errors and fear in place. I won't keep on defending against the truth so I can keep my errors and my fears and the things that are keeping me unhappy in place. And then the court says, when you say you're ready to be released from fear and pain and all the uncorrectable mistakes that are called sins, he says, notice it said 5 times now, it means. So rather than trying to figure it out, it would be better to focus in on what he says it means. Then we don't have to figure it out. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. That's why you got to watch this analyzation of the course, because the analyzation of the course presupposes that the meaning of what it's saying is up to you to decide. And that you got to fit it into your thought system rather than listening without having to believe, right? I don't have to believe it, so why can't I hear it? Right? Nobody's trying to convert me, so why can't I hear it? Well, then it's telling me what it means. It says, if you say you're arrogant, that means that you think God cannot correct whatever you think you're going through right now. That's what that means. If you say you're ready to be released from all effects of your pain and fear, that means you'll say, I'm ready to forego all the values of the false perception in favor of peace, the peace of love, that I won't keep one idea that I cannot be healed and helped from my mind, that I will not keep on doubting this so I can keep my pain and so-called sin in place. I'll open myself up to there's a possibility, there's another way to look at what I'm going through.
Yes.
And this is paragraph 1.
Okay. All right.
There's 1,122 pages, including the workbook in there. This is one paragraph. So it's like the richest cheesecake that's ever been. And it also explains after teaching here 30 years, it's still got this amount of people. Okay.
That's really rich.
I really want to hear this. No, I don't. Because he says the idea of sacrifice is so strong in us that it's hard for us to believe that we could have everything we've ever wanted and have real peace and have joy without making some kind of sacrifice. So when somebody tells us we could have something without sacrifice and we could have it really easily and it could be given to us, that's so far removed away from the programming of our ego mind that it actually repels us. It's like the Course says, there's nothing harder for us to recognize than simplicity. He says the thing we miss the most are the things that are most obvious. If I got my hands around your throat and you're up against the wall, I might not be feeling good that day. Or I might not be the safest person. Though you don't ask yourself, do they love me? And they got their hands around your throat. You're overlooking the obvious. And we do that a lot. We make excuses to stay in situations that are painful for us. And we think we're doing it because we're trying to help the other person. But the truth is, we are doing it because we think we deserve the punishment and the pain that we're going through in that situation.
Yes.
And I'm not ready to give my pain up yet. Could be I'm not ready to give this situation up yet. I'm not ready to give this person up yet. I'm not ready to give this circumstance up yet because I'm arrogant. I think I can do some stuff I need to be punished for, and until I give my punishment, I'm not going to let it go. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you better play some nice music after that.
He says, you also mean that truth has greater value now to you than all illusions. You mean that the truth has greater value to you now than all illusions. That's what it means. I mean the truth has greater value now than all illusions. So what does that mean? It means is if you're ready to be released from all effects of pain and fear, it means that you're going to tell yourself truth has greater value to me now than all my illusions and fears. You tell yourself, the truth means more to me than my fear, my being right. What? The truth means more to me than me being right. The truth means more to me than me being right. The truth means more to me than me being right. The truth means more to me than me being right. What does that mean? I hope I'm wrong. If I'm not happy, I hope I'm wrong in whatever areas of my life that I'm not happy in and feeling peace in. I hope I'm wrong. The Course says that there's some area of your life that you feel pain in. You can say to yourself, at least I can decide I don't like what I feel now. At least I can decide I don't like what I feel now. At least I can decide I don't like what I feel now. At least I can decide I don't like what I feel now. And so, I hope I have been wrong. And so, I hope I have been wrong. I say, so what? I hope I have been wrong. I didn't hear you. What you say? Huh? I hope I have been wrong. In whatever area of your life that you were going off about, that you were worried about, that you were upset about before you came in here, you should say, at least I can decide that I don't like what I feel right now. See, that gets it into me more than, at least I hope. And at least I don't like what I feel now. And so I hope I have it wrong. See, that doesn't impress my consciousness as much as she put a little funk in it. You see what I'm saying? And then you remember it more.
The funk effect.
This is called the funk effect. The Course said the reason why we got inhaled in the first place is we remember not to laugh. That's how we got into a place where people are afraid of each other. We forgot to laugh. So it would benefit you more if you walked out of here today telling yourself that you're ready to let go of every false belief that you have right now. You tell yourself that you're not going to keep one idea that hurts me. I don't want to keep it. If you walked out of here and said, I'm not going to keep trying to be right, I'd rather be wrong if it's going to help me. And you're going to tell yourself that the truth has greater value to you now than all of your fears, than all of your anger, than all of your upset. You have to tell yourself, this truth is more valuable to me now than the things that I've learned that are not helping me. And what is it that I've learned that is not helping me? Anything I'm thinking that doesn't give me peace. Anything I'm thinking that doesn't give me happiness, joy, and freedom. That's something that I'm using that's more important to me than the truth. What is the one idea you need to let go? I'm going to keep it simple. What's the one thing I need to let go? Well, the Course in Miracles says the one thing you need to let go is the belief that you are a victim. Because believing that you are a victim is what's causing all your pain. Believing that you are a victim, that's what's causing all your pain. Believing that somebody else is responsible for your happiness is causing your pain. Believing your happiness is in something or someone outside yourself, thinking that they can do something to you, that's the one error. So what do I need to do? I need to value the truth more than valuing that I'm a victim. How do I do that? I say, I am responsible for what I see. I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience. I choose the feelings I experience. And I decide upon the goal I will achieve. I decide upon the goal I will achieve. And everything, well, it's a heavy one right here. And everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. That is hard to say. But if you'll say it, your drum will drop way down in your life. Way, way down. All right, so the last sentence of the first paragraph is like my family says, 40 years later almost. You still reading that book? I'm a slow learner. That's why I'm still reading. All these years. I am a slow learner. Aren't you a slow learner? Yeah, you're moving slow. Yeah, but don't forget, we might be slow, but our bodies are cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So in the world, you just have to have a cute body. And just don't talk too much. Be quiet. Have a cute body and shut up. You'll have a date.
Oh, that's the one thing I would remember, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, it might not be the date that you can remember years
Be
from
quiet,
now.
Alex, be quiet.
Earl said all I had to do was be quiet and be cute.
That's right. That's it.
That's not much.
She's not doing very good at that yet.
She can only do one of those. Definitely.
You are all
Quiet.
cute.
Never mastered.
Everybody in here is cute. Y'all cute. Of course, it's we cute and crazy, but
Yeah, a hot mess.
yes. Since you mean that truth has greater power now than all illusions, and you recognize what's that word? You recognize that truth must be revealed to you because you don't know what it is. So if you really want to have all your errors corrected and you want to have a really peaceful life, the Course has given us like 6 things to remember to do that in this one paragraph. So instead of me analyzing it, it would be great if I remembered what it told me that I needed to do in order to absolutely be healed of everything that causes me a lack of peace. So what are a couple of things that we just heard that we were told when we were saying we're ready to be released from all pain? Does it mean that we're willing to forego the values of this world?
Yes.
Okay. Does it mean that you won't keep one idea of sin? You will let go of any idea of the belief in sin. I don't know about you, but I learned to believe in sin as a child. Are you willing to let go of that belief?
Yes.
And if you didn't grow up in that kind of religion, you could substitute the word fear or guilt.
Right.
Okay.
Fear and guilt.
Also, would you be willing to stop doubting that it's possible? Would you be willing to stop doubting that it's possible?
Yes.
Not yet, but
Oh my God, an honest answer.
Would you be willing to let the truth mean more to you than what you believe
Yes.
that hasn't been working all the time?
Yes. Yes.
I love that last sentence. Are you willing to recognize that you need to have the truth revealed to you because you don't know what the truth is?
Yes.
You don't know what the truth is. You don't know what the truth is. You do not know what the truth is. I know that some of you may say, I have all infinite intelligence. Well, if you really got all infinite intelligence, then you should be saying, I don't know what the truth is. Because that's what an infinitely intelligent being says when it doesn't know.
That's right.
Right. I don't know what the truth is, so it needs to be revealed to me. What's one truth that's been revealed to me so far? The one truth that's been revealed to me so far is it's arrogant for me to think I can go through anything or do anything that God couldn't correct. That's arrogant. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you all a warning. I'm giving you the answers and I'm focusing in on the Course and I'm not analyzing it, which means your ego is going to try to put you to sleep. Some of you are going to have extreme challenges staying conscious right now, because I'm telling you what would release you from all effects of pain. And you haven't decided you're ready to be free of it yet. Or you just haven't decided you're ready to be free of it through this particular form. Right? So I just want you to know the Course itself says you're going to do exactly what you're doing, which proves the Course is true to me, which makes me study it more. Because it does it over and over again. They say, I'm going to tell you exactly what an asleep part of you or a sleep person is going to do. And I'm going to tell you exactly what a person does that's loving and that knows the truth, so that you can recognize them when they show up and just save yourself a lot of pain from the very beginning, because most of the time the pain you go through your relationships has to do with you not having any vision in the first place and didn't know that you were in the presence of someone who knew nothing about how to love. And so you chose to get in a relationship with them because you needed them to validate your body because you was all dressed up.
Exactly, otherwise what a waste.
I want to draw you to me through the way I look so that I can give you what I want to receive.
Oh,
That's what I do when I go out. I put
that's
trinkets
special.
and stuff to cover my body so that I can make seem lovely what I hate.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's good enough, smart enough, cute enough, strong enough. So there's a part of me that don't particularly like this body, and it's certainly not young enough. Okay. I can tell that more every day. See, so many people that you just positive yourself you want to join to and then join when your ego said, you too old. So you be hoping that person has spiritual vision.
Yeah.
I hope she can see past my body. I'm counting on it. You go beyond my form, baby.
Good luck with that.
But that person would if they truly had vision and they truly had the truth that what you are would be more important than how you look.
Exactly.
Because when you love somebody, I don't care how they look good.
That's right.
When you love somebody, I don't care how they look, they look good to you.
Yes.
When it's love. Now, when it's specialness,
Right.
then you have special body parts that you like and you want to be a certain way. And so that's with specialness.
Yes.
I just can't be with anybody that don't have a round butt. You know what I'm saying? They could be like really, really spiritual in a way.
Really
If their butt wasn't round, I couldn't listen to them. Okay. So that's the way specialness works. It picks out stuff.
Yes.
But some people wouldn't listen to me because of the color of my skin. That's specialness. Earl doesn't. I can't go. He's chocolate. Truth could not come through him. Then there's some people go, oh, he's chocolate, so the truth will come through him. It'll work the other way too. That's specialness. That's what the Course is trying to say. We're in a world that we're making mistakes that we think that it's arrogant to think that mistake could be corrected. But before that mistake could be corrected, you really have to want to realize you don't know what the truth is, and so you let it be revealed to you. So you get together so it could be revealed to you, because you wouldn't be assuming you already know it, which you know you're doing when you're constantly battling with the information that you're receiving. It means you already have an idea, so you're not coming from a place of, I don't know what it is, and I want it revealed to me. And that's the way most people show up in classes and show up in anything that they're studying. They want validation of what they already believe that hasn't worked. Instead of being ready to go, you know what, I'm not going to be so arrogant. I'm going to admit to myself that I cannot make a mistake that God, the Creator, cannot correct, and I'm ready to let go of all my false values. I'm willing to be wrong if I have to be wrong. I'm willing to admit I don't know so I can have the truth revealed to me, because the truth and having love and having peace is more valuable to me than my opinion, than what I made up to be true. That's what that one frigging paragraph just said to us. That one paragraph. That one paragraph. It answers a lot. Now, any questions? Yes.
So I love the statement that truth has greater value now than all illusions. If I take that paragraph, what I can also say is truth has greater value than my arrogance. Right? Because my illusion is my arrogance. So I have such greater value now in truth than my own arrogance.
I value the truth more than my arrogance. My arrogance is me believing I can do anything that God can correct. Right? Okay. Anybody else? Comment, question before I go? This is your chance.
I love the victim comment, because this morning I woke up and I was journaling, and I was like, why in the world am I feeling like a victim? And that just, what you said just pinpointed it perfectly. The victim is something, all your pain.
Right. It's coming from that. Yeah. You're a child of, the book keeps saying a ridiculous thing. The ridiculous thing it keeps saying is that we are extensions of an infinite creator that is all love and all intelligence, and we have all the characteristics and qualities of that creator, which means we are creators. But we come here and then we are taught everything that's the opposite of that, and then we buy into it, and then we believe it, and then we go through pain. And we miss that if your life is full of pain, that is your indication that something's wrong. Just as much as if you have a toothache, that's a clue to you that you need to go to the dentist. So if your life is one big toothache, you need to go to the God dentist. If your life is not peaceful and joyful, and you feel centered and powerful, then the Course is saying, don't make it complicated. You're wrong. You're looking at, and then true people don't like the word wrong, because they want to believe every way is the right way. You don't have time enough to try every way. So it would be your advantage if someone said to you that's the way that wouldn't work. Like if I was trying to come to the church by way of going to Conifer, I would be glad if someone said, Earl, this is not the right way. You need to go that way. That would not be personally insulting to me. So why am I so arrogant that I need to believe every way that I take is the right way, even if it's the wrong way? And I know it's the wrong way because I'm going through so much pain and fear. And what's wrong the way I'm looking at it? And so that's not complicated. The truth is not complicated. There's nothing I've said today is complicated, and nothing this book said today is something that everybody couldn't do today. And the promise is, if you do it, you will use the idea, then you'll see that it works. See? And so it's already said that we should use the ideas even if we don't believe it. So it's even so easy a teaching that it even takes away the need for you to believe it, which is what I'm judging it for. I'm judging it so that I can see if I can believe it. But if it says, well, it's going to work whether you believe it or not, well, don't you just save yourself a whole lot of frustration and judgment? You will love whether you believe it or not. You're not going to come up with anything in your life that God cannot correct, that love cannot correct. You will never do it. You never have done it, and you never will do it. I don't care what you think you've done in the past. I don't care what you think you've done to somebody else. I don't care how little somebody has valued you or told you you were beautiful and wonderful, and they didn't tell you that at all. It has absolutely no effect on God's ability to correct the results of you thinking that way about yourself, which is causing the pain that you're going through because it's determining the relationships that you're attracting to yourself and how you're seeing them, because he says we primarily use our special relationships to keep us from happiness, and that's why people who don't love themselves are rushing for them so fast. Because until we're not arrogant, we don't need to be in a relationship. Until we're able to believe that anything that happens in that relationship, love can correct it without us attacking, projecting, and blaming each other. You don't need to be in a relationship of any kind. Isn't that cool? You know, and you need to stop picking out who it is you think you want. Spirit does arranged marriages. I'm sorry. It's your picker that's messed up. It's your picker that's messed up. It's your picker is the what is this? Did you call me a picker? Yeah, you're a picker. Oh, wait a minute now. That sounds racist. You called me a picker.
Don't be a little picker.
I tell you. So it would be arrogant for us to not say that we don't know that we need to have the truth about relationships revealed to us. I need to have the truth about relationships revealed to me because I don't know what the truth about relationships, I don't know what that is. See, I'm going to admit I don't know how to do it so I can be taught.
Yes.
That's so cool. You had your hand up, CJ.
Well, we have quite a dialogue going on online here, and they're getting very emphatic. So Les started out with it gets more and more capital letters as it says, stop doubting that it's possible. And then Jim comes in and says, I want to have the truth revealed to me and undo all my false beliefs, that it is possible that I can or could come up with anything that God cannot, in all capital letters, lovingly correct. And the following two sentences are all capital letters. Oh boy, do I ever need to go to the God dentist, because right now my whole life is one fracking life ache, followed by Kim emphatically saying, and I need to go to the optometrist. I'm not seeing things clearly.
I need to go to the God optometrist because I'm not seeing things clearly. And these are just these comments that people having to type out online. That's deep. You know, then we in here, we're going, anybody got anything to say? We quiet as a mouse and we can talk to each other. They can't talk to us and they typing their asses off. Okay. And it's all perfect.
Yes.
It's all absolutely perfect. Anybody else? I'm gonna give you, this is your chance, Anna.
I recognize today that the length of time that I allow this problem and its effects to continue is the length of time that I still believe I need to be punished for it before I paid my penance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we don't want happiness immediately.
Right.
Because I need a little bit more punishment, so I'll say I can be happy 6 months from now.
Right.
That's right. So no matter what answers come to me for 6 months, I won't hear them because I've already sentenced myself to 6 months. Yeah. So even if this answer shows up, I'm not going. Wake me up in 6 months. And that's so funny. That's exactly what we do. We decide on how much punishment we deserve, and then until that artificial sentence has been served, no answers seem to make any sense or work. And then we'll claim, I don't know what to do. I just gave me an answer. I don't understand what you're talking about. You got some more time. You got some more time you want to suffer right now. Because, first of all, you are not the healer anyway.
That's right.
That's the big first mistake the Holy Spirit said to me. Do you know what it means when I say I'm the only healer? That's what Spirit said. Do y'all not get what only means? That's what Spirit says it talks to me. It's like, wow. That means I'm just trying to get you to look at things in such a way that you can give yourself peace while I handle things. You are not going to solve anything. Sorry. Like your mama said, sit your butt down over in the corner so I can get something done. That's what God is telling all of us right now. Just sit y'all's butt down. Your understanding don't make nothing happen.
Exactly.
It says your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. So why do you think your understanding what this is saying has anything to do with the effectiveness of it? I'm just trying to occupy your mind so I can get things done for you. That's what the course is. That's what it's saying. It's like that makes so much sense to me. That if I don't think I deserve to be happy, I'm certainly going to make up that I have problems and situations that can't be solved. Oh, I love it. I love it. Woo! I'm gonna try a little bit of paragraph 2. Anybody can go to paragraph 2 with me? Is there anybody left? Come on now, y'all not doing too good. Give me some enthusiasm.
Let's go.
All right. Give me what you'd like to receive if you were sitting up here. Give me what you'd like to receive if you were presenting yourself in any kind of way out in the world and you want to support. Give what you want to receive. Give what you want to receive. That's what I keep learning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I know it's devastating to hear that you can't come up with something that you couldn't be corrected and healed. That's depressing.
Oh, it's not. It's lovely.
No, okay, all right. But here's the next thing. The Course in Miracles says to give reluctantly is not to gain the gift. Okay, so if you are giving something reluctantly, you are going to receive it reluctantly. If you're giving something reluctantly, you're going to receive it reluctantly because when you do it, when you have any kind of reluctance, it means that there's a part of you that doesn't want to accept it. So if you're receiving this reluctantly, the Course is saying it just means you're reluctant to accept it. So your reluctance is you being reluctant to accept the healing and the love. That's what reluctance is. You say you love me. I'm feeling reluctant about that. I'm looking at that very reluctantly. I'm going to give you love very reluctantly. That means I don't want to completely receive love from you. So if I'm not completely giving love to you, if I'm reluctant, then it also means I'm asking not to receive complete love from you, but I'm upset because you're not giving me complete love. But the reason why you're not giving me complete love is because I'm giving you complete love reluctantly. And I'm getting upset with you because you're not giving me complete love, so I give you some more love reluctantly. So I just keep building on reluctantly love. So the Course in Miracles says if you're reluctant, it just means you're reluctant to accept it. Then it says, I love this book. It says, so whatever it is you're reluctant to receive is saved for you. So anything that you've been reluctant to receive, all the love and abundance and happiness that you have not been allowing yourself to have, the Course says it's been saved for you. Not only is the love been saved for you, it has compound interest. So the Course in Miracles says that whatever you give will come back to you in comparison to a candle to the sun.
Yeah.
Now that's a big increase.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm good at giving out candles. I give y'all a candle, I'm trying to tell you.
Candles.
So I'm going to give y'all the candle of love. But it's saying it's going to come back to me bright as the sun. Okay, but it says that's because I've been reluctant to give it and receive it. So just think about how loving our Creator is. First of all, our Creator says to us, look, y'all, I know you feel like you're guilty and sinful and bad, and what you did on prom night was ridiculous. But I'm still going to correct your error. And if you're reluctant to receive all the love, this is after you be saying to somebody, if you're reluctant to receive all the love that I want to give to you, well, baby, that just means that you are just reluctant to accept it. But I'm going to save this love I have for you until you are not reluctant to receive it and accept it. I'm going to save this love for you until you are willing for me to give it to you. Ooh, see what the Course is doing? It's telling you how someone that loves you would talk to you. It's telling us right there. How do you know somebody, what is some reluctance to receive some love? He says, well, if you're giving love reluctantly, you're not going to gain it because you're reluctant to receive it. So if you're reluctant to receive what you deserve, what I'm going to do, this is the deal, I'm going to save the love I have for you until your reluctance disappears, and I'll let my love for you grow until your reluctance disappears. And then that means you're willing for me to give it to you. And you say, give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Talk to me.
It's the funk effect.
Oh, sorry. My boogie chakra. I got an extra chakra. My boogie chakra. It came out, y'all.
Just a little funk chakra.
Just get a little funk chakra. That's right. Anybody here got a funk chakra? Come on now. Don't make me feel like I'm by myself. Anybody here with a funk chakra? Yeah. All right. You online. That's right. Okay, don't leave me out here hanging by myself. That's right. I want to know you with me. Anybody with me in here? Anybody with me in here? Thank you. I know you were a little reluctant. So I'm saving this for y'all until your reluctance to receive what I'm trying to give you disappears, and you're willing that I give it to you. You say, give it to me, Rob. Okay, now, God's justice warrants gratitude, not fear.
Thank you, God.
So love is so fair that you need to be grateful for how fair your Creator love is. Your Creator is so loving. How loving is it? Your Creator is so loving that no matter what mistakes you make, they will be corrected. Your Creator is so loving that it's going to reveal the truth to you in the love to you because you don't know what it is. Your Creator is so fair, so just, that even though you're reluctant to receive the truth and the love, it's going to be saved for you until your reluctance disappears and you're willing to receive it. That's how fair your Creator is. And of course, it's saying, I'm going to tell you something. That warrants gratitude, don't you think?
Yes.
Instead of y'all being afraid of what I just said, you should be grateful for what I just said. That you can be healed no matter what. And even though you're reluctant right now, all of the love is going to be saved for you until your reluctance disappears. And that's what a person would be saying to you if they love you. See, it's telling you what a loving mind is like. That's what I love about this book, because once you learn the difference between truth and illusion, you'll start choosing for the stuff that won't hurt you as much. It's like he says, we like spiritual Stevie Wonders. We're blind. But we make some nice music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the Course in Miracles says nothing you give is lost to you or anyone. So anything you give, you're going to keep. So whatever you share, that's what you're going to keep. So whatever I share with you, that's what I'm going to have. Then the Course in Miracles turns around and says, there's nothing ever lost, but everything is cherished and preserved in heaven, which is love and reality. So if I love you, I am a part of a force that cherishes and preserves you. So if I love you, I cherish you and I preserve you. I help you be preserved. You help me be preserved. We the ultimate course canners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are preserving each other.
Yes.
Okay? We are cherishing and preserving.
Yeah. Fountain of youth.
We are each other's fountain of youth. That's right. See, this is good stuff to me. But because it's so loving, it'll be hard to hear.
Exactly.
You're cherished. You're a bastard. Totally awake. You cherished and preserved.
Stop making fun of me.
See, I know how I torture y'all. I lock y'all in the room somewhere and go all day. You're innocent. You're cherished. You're loved. sound like my dad.
Yeah.
I can trust you, man.
Yeah. You tell me the truth.
You telling me the truth. Why do you think those mega churches got thousands of people?
Yes.
Because they're being told exactly what they believe about themselves.
Yes.
That they're sinful, that they're guilty, that they're going to hell.
Yes.
That's why they go, they believe it.
Exactly.
I'd scare them to death. They think I was the devil in the cloak of an angel.
They
They say, he's talking really, really nice, but he's leading you down the wrong path.
That's what
And
my
he
dad
black,
told me
too.
that
That was your little clue right there.
Yes.
You know.
That's what my daddy told me about you.
I know that's what your daddy told you about me.
The devil say it's the voice of Satan.
That's right. Some people see everything. What would Satan say? Well, Satan said you were preserved and cherished and deserve to be loved.
Exactly.
He said that. That's Satan. What would God say? You're a worm of the earth and you go into hell. Well, wait a minute now. Now I see why people the devil worshippers. You know,
There you go.
that's right. The devil is the one that would say I'm the nice person. And God that's all love is the one that's telling me I'm condemned for hell, to hell forever. And you made pot legal. So,
That's wrong.
I'm going straight to hell. You live in Colorado, all y'all going there.
We're going together.
Thank y'all, those of you especially who laughing today. I know some of y'all don't feel like laughing. You know, I saw your bank account. But I understand your sadness. I can be tuned into your love life, and I understand your sadness. I accidentally tune into the health of your body, and I understand. So that's why everybody don't react the same way. Everybody's interpreting the same moment differently. But the same thing is happening. Notice everybody's got a different reaction to it, which lets you know your world is coming from your interpretation. Because it looks like everybody else is hearing something you don't hear.
Oh, yeah.
And their reaction is letting you know it's there. Isn't it a trip? But then you don't get it. And it's usually because we're preoccupied with our past or future.
Yep.
Something that's about to happen or something that's already happened. And that's what I'm thinking about in this moment. And he's saying right here that heaven is a place where all your treasures will be kept for you forever. So when you say heaven, you're saying love is a place where all your treasures will be kept for you forever. Something that loves you, values you forever. Something that loves you, values you forever. And also, all of the gifts are going to be offered to anybody who is willing to receive it. So you can everybody who wants to receive the love can receive the love. The love is available to anybody that wants to receive it. The abundance is available to anybody that wants to receive it. He says, nor is the treasure less as it's given out. That means each gift but adds to the supply. So what does that mean? It means the more that I give, the more love that I give to you, then it adds to my supply. And it adds to your supply. So when it's love, the more you add to it, the more you share it, the more of it you have. If it's not love, it looks like when you share it, you don't have as much as you used to. So if you're in a relationship and it's fear-based, then you think it's not enough love to go around. And if that person gives anybody else any attention or love, then that means there's less for you. Or if you give anything. Like, for instance, if I give you $5, then that's $5 less for me. You see what I'm saying? The fear-based people believe every time they give something, they have less. A person that is a loving person knows if they really want to increase what they have, they're going to share what they have as fast as they possibly can, especially the broker they are.
Yeah.
And the same thing is true about if I am, it seems like I'm lacking in love and relationship, then I'm going to be the one that's going to try to learn what I can about extending and connecting and greeting and getting to know. That means I have got to immediately start to give that which I want to receive at whatever level I want to receive it on. And so the Course in Miracles is saying to us, that's what love is. He says love is fair. that love is fair. That's interesting, isn't it? So love doesn't fight against your reluctance to see it as a gift from God. God is not fighting against your reluctance to see that you're receiving all kinds of blessings. Your Creator is, I'll say it again, the Course says your Creator is not fighting against your reluctance. You're reluctant to love me. I'm not going to fight against your reluctance to love me. I'm not going to try to convince you to love me. And that's the attitudes that I've been trying to adopt in my relationships. It's just what this book is saying. Okay, this person is really not reluctant to receive my love. Then what I'm going to do is not fight against your reluctance. I'm not going to fight against you at all. And the Course says that love doesn't fight against your reluctance to receive it. So if I want to give you love and you don't want to receive it, I'm going to honor that and I'm going to back off.
Right.
I would not at all try to get you to love me.
Right.
But I save up my love. I save up my love. Because don't forget, you are me and I am you. So at some point, I got to include you in my love for me to be complete. So I really don't have no choice but to love y'all. Damn it. And y'all don't have no choice but to love us. Sooner or later, you're going to have to cross the bridge of including more people in your love. I'm sorry. It's just part of the path.
Right.
Right? So it's good to know that if the person really loves me, they're not going to fight against my desire to not receive the gift. He says, yet with love's justice not be satisfied until it's received by everyone. So what does that say? It's saying that love, God, will never be satisfied until all of us are loved. That our Creator will never be satisfied until all of us are safe.
Yeah.
Until all of us are safe. Until all of us are loved. Until all of us happy. We're the one that stops at the neighbor next door. We're the ones that our love can barely go outside of one person. So the Course in Miracles says, don't worry about that. Because that's a mistake. And so even if you're doing that, that mistake is going to be corrected because you can't make a mistake that I can't correct. Even the mistake of not knowing how to love.
Yeah, right on.
And so I'll save the love that you won't let yourself receive until you are no longer reluctant to receive it. And I'm not going to fight against your reluctance to receive it. But I am not going to be satisfied until each and every one of you and all that you love and everybody around you that you love feels safe and loved and protected. So I love you so much. I am so fair to you that I am asking you to value receiving what I want to give to you and admit that you don't know what that kind of love that I've just been describing is, which means you got to be ready to forego your values, and your value is the value of specialness. Your value is the value of judgment and picking and choosing who's going to receive how much love, and even thinking you don't deserve it the way you deserve. Then you're going to have to be willing to forego all of that kind of thinking so that you can receive the gift that the Spirit is trying to give you. Wow! And if you're reluctant to receive it, that's cool, because if you're reluctant to receive it, I know you're reluctant to accept it, so if it did show up in your life, you would reluctantly receive it, and then you complain that you're not getting love from that person because you're reluctantly giving. And then you get mad, and then you reluctantly give less, and then they do the same thing back, and then you get a little bit more because you don't know that you all are saving up love for each other. Y'all say, because every time y'all don't give each other the love, that's the same as you being reluctant to receive it. And we've already been told that what love does when you're reluctant to receive something is save it up to give it to you when you're ready to receive it. So when you all, what do you think makeup sex is? This week now you're no longer reluctant to receive it. Right, you were upset. Now come on, grown people, stop looking at me like I'm saying something. That always gets next to me when I'm teaching grown people, and then you say stuff like that. Huh? Make upset? Make a what? Did you just say that? Is that a taco? What, The Course says you'll get out of hell faster. Your get out of hell card is your joy. Is your humor. We laugh, and he said the world ends in laughter. But that's the main thing as a teacher I've seen over the years that people are most reluctant to do around spiritual stuff is allow themselves to just friggin' laugh, because a lot of us got that programming from children that, church is tomb.
Church is
You know, church is the tool. Yeah, so you just sit up there, you know, and I don't know, this is not a church class. It just certainly don't look like no regular church. So we know that church is in your mind. This don't even look like a church.
It's a house.
So let you know it's a house. So let you know how much we are reacting to things that are just concepts in our mind and then acting like we're really in a church. Yeah. Isn't it funny? We're acting like we're really, why? Because we called it one.
Yeah.
So are you everything somebody calls you?
Mm-hmm.
If that was so, y'all up the creek, you know. I got a lot y'all got to work on right now. You know. So the last sentence says, and yet would love's justice not be satisfied until love is received, the justice of love is received by everyone. That means you will not be left out. That's what that really means. It means if it won't be satisfied until everybody's in love and safety and abundance, that which created us, then that means you're included.
Yes.
That's why you can be patient, because you can be certain of the outcome.
Yes.
So don't think of the Course in Miracles as an intellectual exercise that you're just trying to pick apart and discuss. Look at the Course in Miracles as we just got a message today, a very beautiful message about what to believe, what we can do, and how to receive. Put your attention on remembering what you heard today, more so than analyzing, because you're smart enough to know what I'm willing to let go of a false idea to receive a true idea. I'm willing to tell myself I can't make a mistake that God can't correct. I'm willing to tell myself that even when I'm reluctant to receive all this good stuff I'm hearing about, I don't have to worry about it because it's being saved up for me. That's what love does until I'm ready to receive it. So even if I have somebody that I have an upset or a grievance with right now, just look at it as we're saving the love right now. That's what the argument is. I'm saving the love. That's why you ain't seeing them. See, when people hear correctly, that's what happens. They go, you know, I can tell when somebody heard what I said. Okay. Acknowledge yourself for hearing this much. Y'all did good. That was good. I'm telling you, I'm impressed. We're going to do the financial expression of appreciation right now. Thank you for your sharing with me as a full-time teacher. Thank you for sharing with Unity Temple so that we have this beautiful place to hear the truth together. And those of you online that are watching and you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, just go to my website. Let me pass that around, bro. Let's go to my website at earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y. I don't have any kind of fee that I definitely charge for my class because I want everybody to feel free to come no matter what their financial situation. And I'm trusting that those of you who are moved and are led by spirit to share with me will do it. And I love you and I appreciate all of you. Those of you online, it's earlpurdy.com. Also, I'm going to do a hardcore Course in Miracles class/workshop on July 21st from 10 to 3. And it's hard. When I say hardcore, it means 38 years of advanced mind training coming into the Course in Miracles to really give you a lot of helpful tips about how you can read it, how you can really use it, and especially what it's saying and how you can practically apply it. Now, it's for people who are really sincere and really want to take advantage of going deeper into the Course in Miracles and really want to utilize my almost 40-year obsession with the Course in Miracles because you know you're a Course in Miracles student. You really want to, that's what this is for. It's for Course in Miracles students. And you know who you are. The ones who are really doing it and the ones who know it's time to really do it. You know. And I want to be of use, because there's so much more I could share with you than I share in this class because I don't have enough time. You know.
The details.
And if you want to know, basically those are the details. I'm going to cover, you know, what it's talking about, you know, as much as I can about relationships or, you know, guilt, anger, and grievance. But I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on this workshop is for people who really want to get a better dedication, commitment, understanding how to work with the Course in Miracles.
Is it going to be here?
It's going to be here at Unity Temple. And it's also going to be online. For those who are online, it is going to be online also. But I want people to be proactive, and what I mean by that is email me, and I got additional stuff I'm going to send you. Email me at earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. Earl Purdy, and if you really want to do this workshop, because I think I might limit the number of people in person. So, so it is, I'm excited about it because I've been going through such a transformation of my consciousness and my being and realization of the truth that it's no telling what y'all going to see me do over the next few months. I'm going to find out who my students are and who my teachers are. Because I want my students, the ones who see me as their teacher and I see them as mine, for real, and that's not an egotistical statement. I want to teach the people who love me. So I can really, and the ones who are reluctant, I'll save my love for you and you stay away. Okay, now, I don't need it. I don't need it. If you don't like me, just don't come around me. And then we're happy, you peaceful, I'm peaceful. There's no harm, no foul. It's the worst people are the ones that don't like you to stay around you.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are cruel. You know, and it's what you have to forgive them. I can forgive you across town. You know, okay, so,
Damn right.
you know what I'm saying? Because I can't see you correctly if I'm upset. So I need to get back to a state of peace so I can see you correctly. And sometimes that calls for you being cross town.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Let's make the course practical. I know we can all say it's just an illusion and you're making an illusion real and then all y'all going to lunch. You know what I'm saying? So we know we still think this is real. So yeah, it's not real, but we think it's real. So how can we bring the teachings of the Course in Miracles to the situations we are dealing with, but by understanding more about what is the message, what is the thought system, what is this book trying to say to me? That's what I want to get into. That's what I want to get into. So if you're coming for a therapy session all day, it's the wrong workshop. Okay, it isn't a therapy session. It's going to be you telling me arbitrary situations all day and then me trying to answer that. This is for course students who want to learn the course and learn how to use the course by getting more understanding of what the course is saying through somebody that's been obsessed about it for 40 years and has dealt with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students like this. There's something I can share with you that you wouldn't ordinarily receive, just like the same thing would be true for you about what you've done a lot of and how I could save my time if I listen to it. So that's what I'm excited about because I feel like I've saved up a lot that I want to give to those who want to receive it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So if you're interested, email me at earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com.
Raj, we have a kind of a ETA, like exactly when, kind of what week,
I'll say it again. July 21st. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I know it won't work for everybody, but it will work for the people it's supposed to work for. So that's how you work that out. That's right. It's real simple. It'll be something you can do, if you want to do it, and it'll be available for you to do. That's what I mean by practical application of the course, to me. Like, to me, it's just a book of universal laws in the form of sentences. Like him saying, to give reluctantly is not to gain the gift. That's a universal law. If you're going to give it reluctantly, you're not going to receive it except reluctantly. And what is it that people tend to do the most reluctantly? Receive the truth.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we wonder why the stuff that's not true shows up. The Course says the reason why the so-called bad stuff, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of this, the reason why the so-called bad stuff seems to happen more than the so-called good stuff is because it says we go into agreement with the ego quicker than we go into agreement with love or God. So if someone tells you can't trust people, you go, that's right. And then you meet people you can't trust. I tell you should trust your brothers and sisters. You go, reluctantly. Right? And then we wonder why we don't run into that many people that we feel like we can trust. It's just a perfect reflection of our attitude. If I go into agreement with the stuff about me that doesn't make me feel good, then that's going to create it in my experience because I'm agreeing with it. Nothing can happen without agreement according to the Course. So you could say anything to me that you wanted to say to me. And if I did not go into agreement, then I'm not joining into that happening for me. So I don't have to walk around the world afraid. I just don't agree with most things that people say. And guess what? They don't need to know it because they're not relevant. they're not relevant to me changing my mind about how I want to look at things. So, and if I know you're going to try to come from that place of telling me something different from what I already know from my guidance is correct for me, then if I don't say anything to you, you won't say anything to me about it. And I don't get a chance to hear what you got to say, which I didn't want to hear. And then we're all happy and peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're clear about a revelation, if you get a revelation of real deep, true guidance from love and spirit from within yourself, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Let them see the results of what that revelation brought to you in your behavior. But they'll put, a lot of times they're just going to throw cold water on it because it wasn't their revelation. It wasn't intensely personal to them. And that's what we do. We get a revelation and then we can't wait, unless you're about to share it with someone who you know would join with you on it. That they would also want you to have that. So that's so awesome. Are you awesome?
You're
Yes. Okay, take a breath. 1 minute and you'll be out of here.
That's very good. Awesome. How to get the fan on.
I would like to ask you to close your eyes for a minute and take a little trip. Are you willing to take a little 2 or 3 minute trip? What can it be but arrogance to think that all your mistakes can't be corrected by God? Let go of the idea that you could ever make a mistake that's uncorrectable. Don't think that you deserve to be punished for what you've done in the past. Don't believe that you deserve to be punished for what you've done in the past. Say, I will let go of all my false beliefs to yourself. You can just say it to yourself. I'm willing to let go of my false beliefs. Would you say love has greater value to me, to yourself? Would you say love has greater value to me than fear? Love has greater value to me than fear. Love has greater value to me than fear. Love has a greater value to me than fear. Love has a greater value to me to fear. Listen to this. I don't know what the truth is. I need it revealed to me. I don't know what the truth is. I need it revealed to me. We don't know what the truth really is. We need it revealed to us. Ask Spirit to reveal the truth to you. To give reluctantly is not to gain the gift. Because if you give it reluctantly, you are reluctant to accept it. But you know what? The love is going to be kept for you. Listen to this. All the good that you deserve is going to be kept for you until you lose your reluctance to receive it. Every blessing that you have ever not allowed yourself to receive, that blessing has been saved for you. That perfect relationship, situation, circumstance in your mind that you haven't let yourself have so far, just know that it is being saved for you. And it's waiting for your willingness to receive it. And every time you give out the truth and love, it's going to increase the truth and love in your life. Love doesn't fight against your wish to not receive it. So even though I'd like to give y'all even more of me, I will not fight against your resistance to me. I'd like to give even more every week in my classes beyond anything I've ever given. And I want to let go of any reluctance that I have to give it so that I can tap into all the love that's saved for you from me. God is fair. I like that statement. The chorus says, God is fair. Say, what you say? God is fair. That means love is fair. That means love is fair. True love is fair. Tell yourself, if love is fair, that means love is going to wait until I'm to the state of consciousness that I can let myself receive it. My Creator loves me so much that my Creator knows that I have so many insecurities and fears that I can't let all that I deserve come in. And my Creator loves me so much that my Creator won't let me make a mistake that can't be corrected by my Creator. My Creator loves me so much that even if I'm reluctant to receive the love, it's going to save all the love and blessings for me and then give those blessings to me when I'm ready to receive it. My Creator is fair. My Creator is not going to fight against my wish not to receive my blessings right now. But my Creator will not hold back any blessings, which means that every single being, everything that exists, all of it must receive the love of my Creator, which means that I'm not going to be left out. Na, 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 na,
We are
na,
grateful.
na. So give it up, Holy Spirit. Thank y'all for coming today. Come on, we can do better for yourself. Come on, man. Yeah, give what you like to receive. Give what you like to receive. That's right. I love you. Hugs are available. Those of you online, thank you so much. Share the video online. Take a moment to really study the course in miracles and email me if you'd like to be a part of the workshop on July 21st, 2018.
I have love for you. I have love for you, too. Come back again.
Oh, I will.